Hey everyone, Soranotroxas here, and man, do I want to talk about this film. But at the same time, this is still during the time where people are going to see the movie, so I don't want to throw out any spoilers there, so I'm not going to do a spoiler review. Maybe I might come back later. Maybe this might be actually one of the first films where I come back later and I actually talk about the spoilers. I know I said I was going to do that before with Star Wars and stuff like that, and I have not done that. I think I might do it with this one, but there's not really much to spoil except for if people die in this and how many people die and who dies in this, that sort of thing. And I'm not going to spoil it. I'm just going to say it's an emotional roller coaster. All right, but let's get started on this review on Avengers: Infinity Wars. Okay, so I had to make a little minor edit there because I don't have a lot of energy on this camera, turns out. And also, new location. New location. Yeah, the wall pretty much looks the same, but I'm in a new location. I finally got my own place. So yeah, kudos to that. Actually up doing some more stuff, thank God. Better job and all that stuff, blah blah blah. But you don't want to hear about that. You want to hear about the Avengers and whether it's good. This is definitely within my top. I would probably say top 5 as far as like Marvel films go. I mean, you got. I guess it's okay to put Deadpool and stuff up there now. So I have Captain America: Civil War, Deadpool, and Winter Soldier, Spider-Man: Homecoming. All this stuff I can put above it. I don't think Spider-Man: Homecoming is going to be in my top 5. I'll have to remake that list, and once like more Marvel movies come out, then I'll probably do like a top 5 list. I think I'm going to wait until Venom comes out this year, because we also got Deadpool 2 and we got Venom coming out this year. I think I'm going to wait till like towards the end of the year to probably do something like that. Even though I can definitely do it now. This is an accumulation of 10 years. 10 years of film as far as doing these Marvel movies and connecting the MCU. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has been going on for so long that it literally has become a staplement and the movie and movie franchising. This is an accumulation of something that was an experiment, and they finally took all of this together and put it in one movie. Had all these characters meet up, and it was fantastic, man. They actually pulled it off. They really did pull it off. There was a certain level of hype that they had to reach, and honestly, I think they reached it and went a little bit beyond it. There was characters that you would say should have deserved more screen time, such as the Black Panther, especially after he just had a hit film, which I also reviewed too. Black Panther, Vision and the Scarlet Witch hasn't been around for a while. Maybe they should have got some more screen time. They did. Okay, so those two did. But there are some other characters that I don't want to mention that's in the film that should have gotten some more screen time, but it's hard to do that when you have all of these personalities coming together and all these different Marvel characters clashing at the same time and going up against Thanos, and of course they're trying to make Thanos this sort of big bad guy, and woo, Thanos, man, Josh Brolin does a very good job, and Thanos was both threatening and understanding. Like, you connected with him, but you wanted to hate this guy. He's both. He's the best of both worlds. Oh man, he's a great villain. Josh Brolin did a really good job with his voice. He had a booming voice. It's that sort of thing where this is how this villain would sound. Especially if you know the comic books, you'll say like, this is how this guy would sound, and I think they did it right. There's a lot of stuff they changed from the comic books. There's obviously some characters that haven't shown up that's supposed to be in the Infinity War stuff. This is also has to do with more of the Infinity Gauntlet than, if anything, because Thanos is still collecting the stones in this. I'm not going to say how it ends, but it left the theater feeling, let's just say, nobody knew how to react to it. They were just sort of, do we clap, do we cheer, or not really, considering what happens towards the end. It's not going to go the way you think. And then for the majority of you that actually do know the comics, or you know how the trailer was looking, it's possibly going to go the way. Yeah, there's some stuff in the trailer that doesn't happen in the film. So this is Marvel being a little sneaky. So we don't know what's going to happen as far as like the future Marvel films either, because we also got Captain Marvel to worry about, and Ant-Man, like I said, Deadpool, and then Venom. I doubt those last two are going to be part of the MCU at all. It would be nice if they showed up in the Avengers, but I doubt that's going to happen. And then, of course, we got the next Avengers film, supposedly May 5th of next year. So, I mean, it's looking good, guys. It's looking good. I don't know where they go from here. For those of you who have seen the film, I don't know where they go from here. I am so interested to see what's next. But yeah, I thought they really pulled it off, and I've been following this thing from the beginning. Actually, I saw Iron Man a year later when it first came out, when it first started the MCU stuff. But as far as like being a huge follower of this, I'm actually glad that I got a chance to live to see this. You know, when you read these comics as a kid, and then you grow up and you see these guys on the big screen. I'm fucking 27 now, so I never, if you had told me this like, not even 10 years ago, like 15 years ago, that this thing was going to happen, where these kind of accumulation of all these characters together, I would have said you're full of shit. That's as much as seeing a Dragon Ball Z movie in the theater, and that also happened too. So I mean, it's weird how, you know, things change, especially with time, and how we start growing accustomed to this, and I'm so glad that this franchise is still going strong. There was a lot of people there at the theater, besides like a handful of people, and I mean like 5 people who got up once the credits started rolling. I'm like, sit your ass down. You know, we've been doing this for 10 goddamn years. You know goddamn well that there's going to be something at the end credits, and there was. So make sure you stay towards the end credits if, you know, YouTube hasn't spoiled it for you already. So that's how I knew something was going to be after the end credits. But at the same time, it's a Marvel film. We normally stay after the end credits. I think the only film that got you that's like, hey, go the fuck away, was Deadpool. I think that was the only one that got me. Yeah, so as far as the good stuff in it, the characters' interaction, the CG was very good. Thanos looked amazing, and he was very humanized to the point where you can kind of connect to him on a certain level at certain aspects. And of course, his motivation, it's pretty much similar to some of the other Marvel stuff. Of course, when Killmonger came along in Black Panther, I said like, okay, he was one of the best Marvel villains, and everyone agreed that he is the best Marvel villain that we've had so far. All of them have been pretty generic. That's what DC can do better than Marvel. They make better villains. Betrayed the film? No, Marvel does a better job. But as far as like written stuff, and Marvel has some really good villains, but they're mostly done well on comic book pages, not necessarily in the movies too much. There'll always be this one or two that will, you know, step above the rest. But like I said in my Age of Ultron review, I think I reviewed that. But like I said in Age of Ultron, whereas Ultron's motivation, I was like, oh my god, I heard this story millions of times. Humans don't deserve to live, blah blah blah. Yeah, whatever. You know, in order to have peace, we gotta kill off certain people and like that. You know, Thanos' motivation is pretty much the same, but how the way he explains it, it's a little vague compared to the comic books. But I think it's enough to get his point across to where you're like, yeah, I don't agree with you, because in order for you to get what you want, you're causing mass genocide, but at the same time, you're so convinced that you're right. And it seems like this is a guy who's been through so much, who had to deal with so much crap, that he just think like, you know, this is the only way. And he doesn't even try to convince anyone else. He's just like, yeah, no, this is the only way for you know, society to have, because he wants to bring peace to the universe by destroying the universe. it's explained better in the film. Like I said, I don't want to give too much away, but that's pretty much his motivation. It's that sort of thing where it's like, would you kill millions in order to save billions? That sort of thing. Kill millions to save trillions. That thing. And he's like, yeah, you know, he's willing to make that sacrifice. And also seeing the sacrifices that the heroes make in this was also a breath of fresh air. Like, there are some heroes that are doing, you know, that are given two options, and then they're taking the alternate route, and I like that. No, excuse me. We're finally seeing something, you know, something a little bit different. And in Thanos, yeah, this is the guy that has been built up for several years, and he appeared in multiple movies. 5, I think, to be total. Counting this one should make it 5. And he's always had not really much of a threatening presence, but when you see him finally in action, you're like, okay, I'm scared. I'm a little scared. It's like, I'm scared shitless. This guy is actually very threatening, and you fear him, and he comes off as a big threat, as a big villain. And even when the Avengers are just trying to go at him and trying to, you know, beat the shit out of him, he's just overpowers them. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like I said, I'm not going to give away the ending. I'm not going to say what happens towards the end. But yeah, Thanos is definitely a force to be reckoned with, and I was actually pleasantly surprised to see that because I had high hopes for Thanos, and he lived up to those hopes. I wasn't like the sort of people who was like, oh, you know, he shows up and did nothing, and it was just for an Easter egg and stuff like that. I was like, don't, Thanos is coming, man. Thanos is coming. And now when he's finally here, people are like, oh shit. It's just like, he's actually a fucking threat. And you're scared of this guy, you fear for this guy. The acting was spot on from everyone did a good job. I don't think there was anyone in here that I didn't like. I think this is currently sitting at like 87%. I saw last time 87-85% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I'm pretty sure Black Panther has a higher rating than that. Mostly because Black Panther is a standalone film. This is my personal opinion. Black Panther is a standalone film. Also, his message is a little bit better. I would say Black Panther's message is a little bit better. I'd possibly say that's the better Marvel movie. That's just my personal opinion. Although this was, like I said, this is also my top 5, so there you go. But whereas Black Panther, you can be like anyone, and you can kind of go in and watching it. You don't have to like see too much of the Marvel Cinematic Universe in order to understand Black Panther. Here, I don't know what type of person would be like, okay, I'm finally, after 10 years, I'm finally going to get on these Marvel movies. I'm going to go out and I'm going to go see Avengers Infinity War because of all the hype and stuff behind it. If you do not know the backstories of a lot of these characters, when shit starts hitting the fan, you're not going to give a shit. But it's like, it's just going to look like a bunch of people punching each other, or it's going to look how fucking Justice League look with just random superheroes showing up, like Flash and Cyborg. You have to know the other films. You have to at least seen one of them, seen some sort of recap on it. That's why I said I don't know how new people come in here are gonna feel about this. Whereas Black Panther, you can just start off, you know, just seeing that just on a film on its own. And, you know, it has its superhero elements to it. This one, you have to know the backstory of all of it. It would be so weird if somebody just came in and they just had no idea about any of this stuff and they just came in just to check it out. I would say, like, I don't have anything like too negative to say about it. Like I said, besides some characters deserving more screen time, they could have shortened a couple of scenes or some things that drag on for just a little bit. But when you start feeling like, okay, this is going on a little bit longer than possibly what it's supposed to, it goes to something else and it gets exciting again, and you're like, God damn it, man! I love this film. A couple of things with the Thor stuff was actually very sad, and then with Thor recapping most of the things that he's been through was actually very sad. I look forward to seeing more cameos for more heroes, because if they're really going to go with whatever they're going to go with in part 2, then they should definitely bring in some more characters, because there's more to Thanos' motivation. Just like there's also a plan that's that Doctor Strange seemed to have cooked up, but we don't know what the plan is. So we might get something in the sequel. But this ended off pretty savagely. I mean, ooh man, it's an emotional roller coaster. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, guys, I'm gonna leave it there. I think I talked long enough. Let's see how long. Ooh, 14 minutes. Oh god. No, that's gonna be longer because I gotta edit this stuff together, and my battery's dying. Yeah. Great film. Go out and check it out if you haven't already. If you're a nerd like me, you already seen it. I had a great time. I thought it was fantastic. 3.5 out of 4 stars. Like I said, I'll put it a little bit lower than Black Panther, but I thought it was a fantastic watch, and I actually want to see it again. Very same thing with Black Panther. I want to see it again. So, yeah, good film. And for those of you who've seen the movie, I am so pissed at Star-Lord right now. I am so pissed at Quill right now. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to leave it as. That's only for people that saw the movie. You know exactly why. All right? Take care, guys. Catch you in the next one.